Welcome to our 5 on 5. Please welcome back Senator Ron Wyden. Senator, good to see you.
Craig.
Thanks for being here. So earlier in the show, we reported about your Clean Air Refugee Assistance Act. How will that help people in Southern Oregon?
Obviously, you look at the last month. I mean, half the days apparently have been ones where there's been unhealthy air. Now, there are a lot of pieces to this puzzle. I'm very pleased that the Congress has passed, it's become law, my bill to start focusing on fire prevention again, we've ended fire borrowing. I also am pleased the Forest Service has agreed to my proposal to move now to go in there and clean out that dead and dying material on the forest floor so you deal with the backlog. We've got help with the National Guard, with air tankers. But the fact is, when you have kids and seniors traipsing around essentially looking for clean air, you've got a public health calamity on your hands. And what my legislation says is we've got a program run by the Federal Emergency Management Organization, and in effect, people are eligible for disaster assistance. It's short term. I want to say that the clean air refugees, these people are traipsing around trying to get clean air, they ought to be eligible too.
The president's approval numbers haven't moved much after the Michael Cohen guilty plea and the Paul Manafort guilty verdicts. Does that concern you with midterms just 2 months away?
Look, the American people are going to be able to juggle, all of this. I mean, the president has been, and just for example, in the last few days, has been saying he's not getting fair news coverage. I mean, this has been a special topic of his. Well, if he didn't appoint so many crooks and tax cheats, he probably would get better news coverage. So I think the big issues are going to be, how is the middle class family faring? The folks at the top did really well. Middle class people, not so much.
Should states be able to use student support and academic enrichment grants to buy guns intended to bolster school safety for teachers?
I'm very troubled about this Betsy DeVos proposal. This was never the intent of the basic education law. Look, we know that we've got to get dollars into the classroom. We've already got families concerned about classroom size and the like. I am definitely for school security and having professionals in the field nearby, and making sure, for example, the doors are properly closed. That's been something that has been cited. And then I'm spending a lot of time trying to pass a law that will do more to keep the guns out of the hands of people who shouldn't have them.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. Have much more in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Senator Ron Wyden. Senator, your politics obviously differ greatly from the late Senator John McCain, but I imagine you knew him pretty well. Tell us your best McCain story or memory.
My best story is I came to the Senate. I was Oregon's first new United States Senator in 30 years. John McCain was the chairman of the Commerce Committee. People didn't really know that. They always thought of him in terms of armed services. And at that time, the only person who knew how to use a computer in the Senate was Pat Leahy. And I went to John and I said, hey, we've got a chance to write the rules of the road for the internet. I mean, this is just something clearly that needs to be done in terms of taxes and regulation, digital signatures. And you're going to be chairman of the committee, and I'll be glad to be your kind of guy doing the grunt work. He smiled and he said, we're definitely going to get at it. He said, you're going to take the lead. I'm going to do the grunt work. And that was John. I mean, when it called for it, and this was over decades of extraordinary service to our country when he wore the uniform of the United States. When there was a tour of duty, John McCain was there. And Nancy and I are going to be in the Washington Cathedral on Saturday morning, and I have to fly all night to be able to do it. But we wouldn't miss it, because John McCain has done his last tour of duty, and we're going to remember him for a long time.
Have you endorsed any of Oregon's congressional candidates or state-level candidates this fall?
Well, obviously, this isn't a time to be talking politics. I will have plenty to say about candidates down the road. I think that people are trying to make judgments about what the key issues are. For example, a lot of people say, well, is it the economy, or is it what has come to be known as the culture of corruption in Washington, D.C.? I mean, you look at this Trump administration and how many people have been given immunity and have already pled guilty. I mean, the TV stations, you all are running out of split screens in order to put all these people who are confessing to crimes on the air. So I think that, like Oregon families, they're going to juggle. I think the central economic question will be the middle class, folks at the top doing very well, and folks in the middle. They may have seen a little bit in the tax legislation, but not enough to dramatically change their life. And they know that it was paid for by putting $2 trillion on the national credit card, which threatens Social Security and Medicare.
Judge Brett Kavanaugh will begin confirmation hearings in the Senate next week. Will you be a part of that, and how do you think that's going to go?
I don't serve on the Judiciary Committee, but I'll be very much a part of it. I've taken the lead in pointing out his comments that have been hostile to the Affordable Care Act. I particularly don't want to see this country lose airtight, loophole-free protection for those with pre-existing health conditions like cancer or asthma. I had that on my bill. It's pretty much intact in the Affordable Care Act. And just yesterday, with communications leaders, I talked about his comments, which have been very hostile to net neutrality. Net neutrality essentially means after you pay your internet access fee, you get to go where you want, when you want, and how you want. And Judge Kavanaugh's views would really turn those principles on their head and give out a lot of favors to the powerful and change the internet, in my view, in a way that would be very ominous for our working families and seniors.
Good to see you. Thanks for
Thanks
being
for
here.
having
Appreciate
me.
it. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.